Okay, so now it's time to do a idle animation, so make sure you swap to idle. So here, if I look at my idle animation from the game, we'll notice that it's actually 60 frames long, and what's happening is that she's just swaying. So I'll kind of do the same thing, except I'll also kind of do it like an up and down bob. So to start with the sway, or I guess first to change our animation here to 60, that's the first thing we have to do. I'll go to frame 1 and I'll make my first position. For the first position, I'll kind of move with the center of gravity because I'll have him bobbing up and down like this. So his knees are bending up and down. So I'll go to the lowest point, something like this. Then I keyframe. Then eventually, so for now I'm going to say frame 30, he'll be at his highest. And then I'm copying these frames from frame 1 to frame 61. So I have something like this. Immediately, I'll also do my little sway. So I'll do to the left. And I can pay attention to how much I rotate him, right? So maybe I want to rotate him by 20-ish degrees, -20. Keyframe, go to frame 30, and I rotate on Y to +30. And I keyframe again. And I'm going to copy frame 1s all the way to frame 61. We actually have something weird happening, something that we don't expect. And that is every time he's facing right, his knees are bent, and every time he's facing left, his knees are extended, which this should not be a thing. What really should be happening is anytime he's facing right or facing left, his knees are down at both of the sides, and when he's in the middle, his knees should be extended, which means that this bobbing up and down, so the center of gravity moving, actually needs to have a period of 2. So if you're in pre-calculus, you know kind of what that means, but if you're not, that's okay. Essentially, we're just going to grab all of these keyframes off of the center of gravity. So I select center of gravity, move my mouse down here, press A to select all keyframes. I make sure that my pivot point is this 2D cursor. I make sure that my scrubber here is on frame 1. I press S to scale, X to lock it into the X-axis, and I scale it so that my last frame here ends at 30. So now the up and down movement happens as he's going from right to left, and then he finishes at the bottom again. And now I just need to copy all of these frames. So I select all, Control C, move to 30, Control V. Okay, and I think I made a little mistake of scaling because I want to end this at 61. So I'll go back to frame 1, press A, press S to scale, and X, so that my last frame ends at 61, like this. So now it is behaving nicely. Okay, and if the movement is extreme, that's no problem. I can just select the center of gravity, press A, and I can scale it on the Y. This will dampen it a little bit more, or I can make it super crazy extreme if you really want. I'll leave it like this for now and make the final touches later. Okay, what else do I want? So I'm going to position his arms first. I'm going to position them down. So I have the symmetry tool like this, just to position them almost like when he's facing straight ahead. I just want to position the arms so they're not awkward. Okay, so something like this. But now I'm going to take off the symmetry so I can actually work on them individually. So I think I'm happy when he's facing straight that both the arms are the way they actually are. So I'm going to select all the arm bones. So I have all the arm bones selected, and I'm going to press K to keyframe them. With these bones still selected, I'm going to select all the keyframes here, copy, and I'm going to paste them to the next time that he's facing forward, which is around frame 41. Okay. Now on frame 30, his body is all the way to the left, so I'm going to move his right arm forward and his left arm backwards. And I'm going to keyframe this as well. Now in frame 1, I'm going to bend his arm backwards, the right one, and the other one's going to be forwards. Make sure I keyframe both of them. And this is kind of the movement I have. Oh, and I get that little snapping because I forgot to copy frame 1 all the way on frame 61. Same with the green arm. Copy, paste. Now I should get a smooth transition. If you don't like all these bones, well, first of all, you can remove all the names, but you can also go up here and hide the bones for a second, so you can kind of see it without that. Okay, so say this is my idle animation, but I think there's a few issues with it. One, I think he's twisting way too much, so I'm just going to play around with that. And I know that is the rotation on the y-axis, so I hide everything except for the y-axis. So this is my rotation on the y-axis. I press A, and I scale it down. Okay, and maybe even the bobbing up and down is a little bit too much, which is the location on the z-axis. Okay, and honestly, maybe even the arm sway is a little bit too strong. Okay, and after some playing around, I came up with this. I kind of changed the arms animations as well. They were a little bit too strong, and I think I like this. Okay, before I start the walk cycle, I made a mistake. The walk cycle in the game is 18 frames. The walk cycle in my animation that you're about to see, I make it over 60 frames, which is a problem because then the walk cycle is very slow. So make it anywhere between 18 frames and like 30 frames. You just want to make sure that the number is divisible by 2. So as I start this, make sure that you change the frame rate here. And now it's time for the walk animation. The walk animation has one little trick, and it's a little bit more intense. So it's the last one that we do. So I'll select walk. I make sure I press all bones, Alt R, Alt S, Alt G to reset everything. And I'll go to frame 1. Now, if you've taken animation with me last year, you've kind of seen this picture. So these are some of the essential poses of a walk cycle. So I'll start with the contact, then I'll make the pass pose, and then we'll create the contact position. The problem is we cannot just simply copy paste these from first one to the last one, because here his right leg is forwards, whereas here his left leg is forwards. So luckily Blender has a built-in feature where we can copy symmetric model and paste it flipped. So we'll start with the contact. I'll have this picture on my second monitor. So here I'll move his hips down a little bit. Right leg forward, up. Left leg backwards, like this. Except with that position, there's also the toe. Right, so there's a toe. I make sure that it looks good from all sides. Okay. Then for the arms, I'll enable symmetry just to move them down. I'll close the fist because I modeled it with the fist opened. And I'll bend the elbow. Okay, I'll take off symmetry and now I'll work on the arms. So the right arm, because the right leg is forward, that means the right arm will be backwards. Okay, I do get some weird stretching here, but that's okay. Okay, something like this. Then the left arm will be forwards because the left leg is backwards. And when his right leg is forwards, I will actually rotate his body to the left. Okay, and so say this is all I want to do to it. Obviously, you can make it more colorful if you like. I will press A, K, and I'll keyframe location, rotation, and scale. Then for frame 30, this is where we have the passing position, which means that the right leg is slowly coming below him. So right leg is essentially resetting. Alt R, Alt G to reset it. His body will straighten up. His left leg is now a little bit forwards. The toe is now reset. Something like this. I'll reset the hips here as well. And I'll actually bend them a little bit to the left, or twist them a little bit to the left, so that I can move the leg up a little bit. His arms should be side by side. So something like this. I'm going to press A and keyframe all of it. So this is the animation that I get. Okay, it's not the greatest, but we'll add more keyframes in between later. Now it's time to create our last contact position. So we have 1, 2, and then 3. For this one, we can copy this one. So select frame 1 keyframes. click Control C on your keyboard, go to frame 61, and then we're gonna paste it, but we're gonna paste it here. Under key, we're gonna say paste flipped. So now it does a full 1 cycle across all the bones. Except I made a little mistake here. Really, this is just half of a walk cycle. This is not a full walk cycle, but I'm treating it as 1 because I went from 1 all the way to 61. We need to actually bring his right leg back forwards again. So all this really means is go back to frame 1, press A, make sure all bones are selected, press A down here, and now we're just going to scale it so that the last keyframes are on 30. So we get one of these. So now all we have to do is copy frame 15, go to frame 45, key, paste flipped, and then now we just copy frame 1 onto frame 61. So now we have a very terrible walk cycle, but that's okay because now we can fill in all the in-between frames. I'll only do one on camera here. Essentially, it's much easier at this point. You just go halfway in between, so between 1 and 15, and now you're just touching it up. So maybe on frame 10, I want his leg to already be snapped down, like this. So I just keyframe that bone. Okay, and at this point in the video, I'm just fixing up any issues with my animation. You might actually come into fewer issues in your animation because I used a broken rig. But if you guys followed my rigging video, the feet should be all fixed from there. So you shouldn't have any issues. And at this point of the video, I realized that I made the animation way too long. It should have been 18 frames instead of 60. So I just selected all my keyframes and I scaled them so that they would cover 18 frames. So yeah, now you're ready to throw your animations into the game, which will happen in the next video. So yeah, good luck.